All right, shalom, y'all. Want to say shalom. Welcome to Spiritual Combat. As you could tell by the title, we're going to be talking about health, diet. We're going to be talking about community, and we're going to be talking a little bit about relationships. Okay. Let me get on here and make sure the audio is good, and then we're gonna get things moving. Okay. Um, Let me see what we got here. Trying to see if I could find my own video somewhere on here. But if you're in there before we press on ahead, just let me know in the comments how the audio is. If the audio is good, if you can hear me, and then we're going to press on. But definitely have a lot to talk about. I've been very busy this week. So let me see if I could. I see what I'm gonna have to do here. Your studio switch. Okay, there we go. All right. There we go. Here, I'll check my own time. I know it's early. I'm not always on this early. Let me check what we got going on. Okay. All right. So, yeah, so what we're talking about is all right, hold on. I got an alarm on my phone. So what we're talking about here is diet, health, relationship, community. First one I'm gonna go into. We're gonna talk about community. Okay. You know, going back when I was trying to see who's making that noise out there. But going back to when I first came into Straightway and everything, when I went up to Ron's event, and let me turn this down. But when I went to the Great Awakening Hebrew Gathering, the event that Ron Dalton had put on, you know, leading up to that time and afterwards, I've been doing a lot of traveling to different Hebrew Israelite community events and things that they had going on in the Hebrew Israelite community, conferences, concerts, and everything like that. And my mission always was action, walking this thing out to the utmost degree, because I recognized this was the truth, but I also recognized there was more to it than just talking and teaching videos and stuff like that. So I when I by the time I got up to the Hebrew Israelite event, I was in the mode, man. I was really looking to do something. Uh, didn't know exactly what it was, but I knew that, you know, like everybody else says, we need to come together. So when that event finally came, I went to it, and I ran into Straightway, Pastor Dow, everything like that, and looked at what they were doing, looked at the character of everybody, talked to a lot of Straightway brothers and sisters up there, and just got a strong witness in my spirit that this is the way. Like these folks, they got it. There, you could see a difference in character and in the way they carried themselves up there at the event. When I you know, when I fi- finally sat down and talked to some of the brothers and they explained the model to me, that was it. I was all in right there. And then the next day, Koya listened to Pastor Dow teach and explain what they do and how they move. And she too, after she heard that, she was all in. Um, hey, Shalom, Sheldon, good to see you in there. He said, Shalom, my brother. It was great seeing you yesterday at the Shabbat. Yep, Brother Sheldon and a lot of other brothers was up here for the Shabbat. I had a big turnout and it was good. Um, but yeah, so it was going there, going to the event. We got a strong witness. Saying all that to say, what transpired after that, and this because we were bringing up. Me and the brothers were talking about how some of the Hebrews out there in the so-called Hebrew community now are beginning to recognize that the straightway model and the straightway got they're on the right path, and these other groups out here is just tiptoeing through the tulips, lollygagging. Okay, so we were just talking about that amongst the brethren yesterday. We were just talking about how some of the Hebrews, yeah, they're about 2 years behind in realizing, you know, you know what's going on, what these groups are doing, but still it's good that they're waking up. Hold on one sec. So moving forward though, when I got that witness in my spirit that, hey, this the route, this is biblical, this is what I've been looking for. I didn't just jump in. I visited multiple straightways. I visited Straightway Houston first. There was a Hebrew Israelite event down in Houston, and the head of Straightway Houston, Brother Greg, reached out to me and offered to let me stay at their house. Um, at their communal home there while I was down there in Houston, so I didn't have to get a hotel. So I took them up on it. Then there was another event up in Detroit. The head of Straightway Detroit, Brother Juan, offered to let me stay there. And then a little after that, I visited the hub. And that was it, man. I was like, man, we going the straightway route. Just really watching closely, watching how they move, watching how they operate, what they do, all that stuff like that. It was a no-brainer. And in the meantime, while I was bearing witness to the footwork that Straightway had, to the fruit, not my feelings, but the fruit. And y'all could go back and watch the videos. A lot of y'all saw this whole transition go down. But as I began bearing witness to the fruit, just all emotion out of it, looking at what people are saying and what people are doing. And that's how I looked at Straightway. I was like, yo, these dudes is flawless. I ain't seen this nowhere in the Hebrew Israelite community. And it just more so confirmed the witness I got in my spirit that Straightway was away. So then bringing it all the way back to what we were talking about yesterday, the biggest thing, another big thing that pushed me even further in the straightway and just confirmed what I had already bear witness in my spirit was I had all these so-called Hebrew Israelites, so-called leaders in the Hebrew Israelite community telling me that I was making a mistake, telling me that, you know, I've seen this before. They blah, 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 just trying to talk me out of it. You shouldn't do that. What about your show? You know, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, okay. I'm waiting for the logical argument. I was like, okay, but why? Explain why. No one could give me one legitimate reason. Nothing. Not even anything close to a legitimate reason why I shouldn't go in the straight way, you know. Um, and mind you, at the see, what a lot of y'all probably don't know is around the time of Ron Dalton's event, the Hebrew Awakening was really chugging hard, picking up steam. Hebrew Israelite events were at an all-time high. Concerts, feast days, um, feast days, uh, you name it, conferences. And right at the peak of that, Ron Dalton had the biggest, most illustrious Hebrew event open to the Hebrew Israelite community. Understand what I'm saying? So he had an event that brought camp Hebrews, uh, church Hebrews, black conscious extreme Hebrew. Like he brought together Hebrews from across the whole spectrum of the Hebrew Israelite community. He brought them together under one event. You know, had a boat cruise and all this other stuff, award ceremony, put a movie out, all this stuff in one event. And things that were hitting their apex. And then after that event, other people were having events. And right in the middle of all that, I declared, hey, I'm straightway. I'm handing my show and everything else over to straightway. I'm with straightway. And as I was approaching that time where I declared that, so-called Hebrew brothers and ox were just without rhyme, reason, without any remote reason, cutting me off, not talking to me anymore, had zero to say. So-called brothers, you know what I'm saying? Like my man be saying in Austin Powell, ox, brothers, you know what I'm saying? Hey, literally, overnight, never heard from him again to this day, you know? No rhyme, no reason, no biblical morality or text backing up them just not messing with me, or just, you know, totally unscriptural. But they're, you know, that follows suit of the way the so-called Hebrew Israelite community is. They really don't follow the scripts when it comes to um, the real foundational stuff, which is stuff concerning character of person. Um, but yeah, just literally cut me off. And the final end to it all was, of course, y'all know, at the great at the what was it called? What was it called? The Dry Bones Rising conference in Atlanta, where I was gonna have, you know, a bunch of so-called Hebrew Israelite people come out, and you know, it's gonna be like conference, and they just one by one. Oh, some people, actually, none of them told me they weren't gonna make it. They just didn't come. Never heard from them again. People did not understand why I was making the moves I was making, I guess. Fast forward 2 years later, about 2 years, maybe it's about 2 years later, about a year and a half, whatever. Yeah, I look back at the so-called Hebrew Israelite community, and they're doing the exact same thing. They're just making videos, and they're in no way, shape, or form coming together. Um, I'm sure Pastor Dow could bear witness to this. I know in my time, I've seen people, even when I first came into this Hebrew Israelite thing, I've seen people make attempts to start communities, some of them publicly, and some of them uh, fell apart publicly. Okay, all on social media. Some of y'all have seen them try to come together and do stuff, and it just turned into a disaster. Um, and like I said, Straightway is standing the test of time. Why? Because they meticulously adhere to scripture on a character level. And when I say on a character level, I'm talking about on a book of Proverbs level. Um, and that's the secret sauce. People think the secret sauce to, as I listen to these people talk, they think the secret sauce and what Straightway is about is land and community and farming. They think that's the key. No, what Straightway is about is moral character and using the tools that Yah's given us, deliverance, counsel, rebuke, to grow and develop moral character. You see what I'm saying? But you got a lot of people out here, man. Their moral character is so flawed and so jacked up that they can't even bring themselves to submit to another man who's, like I said, Pastor Dow, he doing it better than me. So why not submit under him so I can start doing things better and learn? Elder Rufus, y'all seen the interview with him? Elder Rufus gets it on a deep spiritual, instinctual level. He gets it, gets the word. Why not submit and follow the leadership body like that? But man, I'm telling you, there's people out there, man, they got spirits on them that of pride that, and it can't even be a conversation. It'll engender rage in people. So but that is the secret sauce. That is the big elephant in the room that people have to deal with if they want to successfully have a community and really truly come together in an Acts chapter 2 type of way, where they have all things in common and you can really develop. You can have all the money in the world. Look at all the rich athletes and actors and actresses and all of that. And that's all they got is a big house and money. But they really ain't got power. You know what I'm saying? No real strength, no real unity, no real, they're still very much subject and captive to Babylon. The only way to break your Babylonian captivity is to come together with your nation, form a nation and a nation. You know what I'm saying? That's where you have true power. You know, you just a high paid wage slave if you're an athlete, an actor, or whatever you want to call it. You're a high paid wage slave to the system, at best, So that's just big old facts. Um, uh, but the key, like us right now, we are a home fellowship, a home community right now, communal home. We have a big house here that a bunch of families and brothers and sisters live in right now. Have all things in common, share all things. We're getting ready to add another brother into the fold here, but it like the things we've been able to do business wise. I mean, I'll put it out later on. I'm not putting it out right now till everything's complete, but just the things, the leaps we've been able to make business wise, is just amazing. The effect this has when on your life, as far as, like, for instance, with our community business, there's a job we've been doing, and this is kind of why you haven't seen me this week. It's because we've been super busy. We have I got up early. I wake up. This happened about two days in a row. Wake up to go to work, so I wake up around 4 o'clock. I got business stuff I gotta do online and stuff to take care of. Get out of bed, get up, go to work. So I'm waking up at 4, go to work all the way to 3 in the afternoon, get off work, go work for the community business all the way to 10 at night, come home. By the time I come home, I don't have time to be, I don't feel like going to no fast food store. I don't feel like going out to eat. But because we are women in Straightway chase keepers at home, there's a healthy meal prepared for me, ready to go, eat, go to sleep, rinse, repeat. You see what I'm saying? And being under, like, this week has been a pressure cooker. And you know, like when you get under pressure to that level where you're you're gone, you're constantly working, grinding, this, that, and the other, and it really weighs. You really see the power of this biblical model, for lack of a better word, but it's this Straightway model. The way we operate the way Pastor Dow, Elder Rufus, where they laid out. If you watch that interview I did with Elder Rufus, we operate like them. When the pressure's on, like it was this past week, you really see the beauty of this thing, because everybody is working in their natural Yah-given position and functioning in that position, and it's a beautiful thing. And I'm saying all that to say, it's sad because there's no way that people are going to be able to have a successful community unless you follow the model that's been laid out. I mean, it's undeniable. But for whatever silly reasons, and like I said, nobody comes out and says what their reason is. For whatever silly reasons, man, people will not submit, come out and do it. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's like, you're out there, you're grinding all day, but your family is home, they're safe. Your children are in the house learning righteous things around people who love them. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching my daughters develop into women that are going to be a blessing to Israel. True women, not superficial war pigs. That's what some of these women are out here. They're monsters. But again, it's not about starting a business. It's not about getting on the land. It's not about living in a community home. All that comes easy when people are developing their moral character. They're truly growing spiritually. They're serious about their spiritual growth. Because then you're able to submit to authority. You're able to be asked or told to do stuff, and you're able to actually do it with a spirit of excellence. You see what I'm saying? Like, listening is a superpower this day and age. So you're able to do things. You're able to share and not have a selfish Babylonian mindset. See, those things there are the keys to this thing. And those reasons there are the reason why you continue to not see any real development in the so-called Hebrew Israelite community out there. You know what I'm saying? The other nations have these things. The other nations are able to submit to authority. The other nations are able to do what they're told to do, or do what they agree to doing and carry it out with excellence. Okay? They're able to do that. The other nations are able to share. They don't have a selfish Babylonian mindset. See, and what I'm saying, the group of brothers and sisters that I deal with in communally here, they have that spirit on them to where, okay, let's do this. It's effortless. The easiest part was starting and running a community business. That was the easy part of this whole thing. The easiest part was living communally. Now, we recently moved into a slightly bigger communal home, but when we first started out, my whole family was staying in a little 12 by 12 room. You know what I'm saying? Me and Koya slept on the bottom bunk. Our two daughters slept on the top bunk. Sacrifice, selflessness. You know what I'm saying? To get it done. We moved into something slightly bigger now, and Most High willing, and it's the Most High's will if He so sees, we'll be transitioning to onto land here in the near future. That is the goal, you know. But you know, it's interesting to see that people are there are some Hebrews out there that are beginning to realize that, hey, this dude got the model. Now, in the very near future, the straight way is gonna be a beacon of light. It's gonna get real bright and obvious that this is the way to go, that is book, and that it lines up with script. Somebody said, "Well, will the new land still be in Florida?" I highly doubt it. If I have it my way, and if the Most High so sees fit, it's gonna be as close to Straightway as possible, as close to the other Straightway communities and the Straightway hub as possible. If you followed, if you listen to Pastor Dow and what he's been saying, he tells you, get the hell out of the cities, get the hell out of California. He tells you, get the hell out of New York, and he says you don't want to be living in Florida, and particularly in Florida, because we damn near live in Georgia. We're very west and kind of in the rural northwestern kind of part of the Jacksonville region over here, damn near in Georgia, but we're not in that area that is so critically affected when there's hurricanes and any type of natural disaster or whatever. But if you're down in South Florida or mid Florida, Orlando area and all that, man, it's only a matter of time before the perfect storm hits or something happens and you're cut off, because there's only two inlets. There's only two routes in and two routes out of Florida. You know, that's 75 and 95. So just not a good place to be. And then the other thing, man, a lot of people, and this is for years I've been hearing about this, a lot of people, man, have dreams about flooding and Florida flooding, like prophetic type dreams and stuff like that, that Florida gonna be flooded out or stuff like that, all types of things. So yeah, if you follow Straightway, y'all know this. If you've listened to Pastor Dow's teachings, you know this. But there's so many people, y'all, that follow Straightway and listen to Pastor Dow teach and don't listen. They listen, but they don't do it. So, all right, somebody put big old Hebrew facts, pure facts, royal priesthood, John chapter. Let me see what you put. Revelation chapter. Already all praise to the Most High God of Israel, Yahuwah Shalom. Shalom, shalom. So yeah, it's good that people are beginning to open their eyes, but Man, I'm telling you, man, we beginning. I feel like we either in the fourth quarter or we beginning we coming to the end of the third quarter. But it's like, man, you could see things culminating, see things coming together. I was talking to brothers yesterday, man. It you see them implementing this. If you don't get the poison shot, then you can't buy groceries or you can't go to these restaurants, and like it's causing rioting and stuff in some countries. And it's nothing for you to see that happen here. They put us under lockdown and declare something like that. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that you know like, it's not far-fetched for me to say something like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's amazing, man. But this is high time to start shaking and moving and stop trying to enjoy Babylon and actually get after this thing, man, for real. Okay. Um, but yeah, man, it's we it feels like it's coming in the fourth quarter if it's not already there. Um, but like I said, I and like I've been saying, I got a sense of urgency on me that the Most High has put in my spirit on just getting myself together, getting my mind right, just being around these righteous saints, and not playing around and wasting time. So I figure I'll speak on that with the community thing. All right, we're gonna transition over to relationships real quick. Um, you know, there was a season on Spiritual Combat where I taught a lot about relationships. Y'all can go back to all my videos, intricately breaking it down on how to be a biblically masculine man and how to interact and deal with women, and just how, like, the influence from this society that pushes you into being feminine. And I got a lot of kickback and backlash from the so-called Hebrew Israelite community, to where there's one assembly that actually prayed death on me because I called them out about, you know, really pushing an effeminate spirit. Okay. And it's not a game out here, man. I don't care. I don't care about views. I don't care about numbers. I'm about them big old facts and coming straight down the middle and molly whopping you right betwixt the running lights. You know what I'm saying? So, but I caught a lot of flack because there's a lot of feminism and feminine spirits and feminine environments and atmospheres in the Hebrew community, particularly in these assembly brews, okay, in these church brews where they try to kind of mimic the church environment. But like I said, a lot of these Hebrew groups, one of their main issues with Straightway is just their unapologetic biblical stance on women's roles that can easily be backed up in the book. Um, and like I said, so I've taught on this for a long time, and that was another thing that resonated with me when I came into Straightway is like, okay, hey man, how y'all's biblical stance for women is right on board with mine, and I can actually grow into that because I had to grow and develop into the next level of and Koya too, of a woman's righteous role. A very Koya is a very valuable asset in this community. The other sisters that are communally live with us, they are valuable assets in keeping this thing going and keeping us going and supporting us and what we're doing. and we're beginning to reap the fruits of their support. Is not oppressive or anything like that. And I can tell you, and Koya could tell you, she she's the least, she's the most stress free I've seen her since I married her. Okay, why? Because she's in her biblical role. Um, all right, so let's see. Got some comments here. I just moved back to Florida, WPB. Wondering if anyone has Shabbat gatherings. Yeah, we do. Yep. We have Shabbat gatherings at uh here at Straightway, Florida. We just had one yesterday. It was awesome. Koya, for the women, they just had a discussion where they were confession things that they had overcome, and I don't know all the details of it, but Koya said it was very, very edifying for the women, and I guess freeing and liberating for them to just confess things to their sisters and get input from their sisters. So they really enjoyed their Shabbat to the point where we got fed late because they were in there, just growing spiritually. So it was a blessing. Um, and then the brothers, we were out here chopping it up. There was a brother who needed counseling. Some brothers needed deliverance, and it was a good Shabbat, y'all. And definitely don't forsake the assembly. And that's how we go. The whole straightway model. You come to the Shabbats, and you come and you fellowship and meet the brothers and sisters, and you get a good witness in your spirit. And then you might want to move to the next level with things and start living communally or whatever. But it's we tell people, like a lot of the brothers and sisters, man, they come, they fellowship, they realize they see the family aspect of this, and they want to be near their family, and it just makes practical sense. Somebody said, "Is it far from West Palm?" No, we got people who come up from who travel up here from Miami, from Tampa, from Georgia, all that. Um, just reach out. What you do is just reach out to the dining hall. Call that dining hall number. I don't have it here. You can email me, and I'll give you the dining hall number. Let me see, banners. Hold on one sec. I don't know why I ain't got that up there. Okay, I'll put it up here so you have it. But yeah, you can. All right, there it is. You can email me. I give you the dining hall number. You can and they will talk to you a little bit and link you up. You know what I'm saying? We straightway there's a vetting process. There's people, man. I talk to them and I'll be like, no, they not coming out fellowshipping, because we like people who understand the ministry and they all in with the ministry, that they've been watching and following the ministry for a while, and they decide. We don't just let, oh, hey, like I had a guy reach out to me and say he just want to come and see what it's about. I'm like, nah, watch some, if you want to see what it's about, watch Pass It Out, watch Straightway, watch some of the lessons, because you know a lot of people ain't totally serious minded. But yeah, absolutely. And what we're telling people is get out of Florida, especially South Florida. The right storm hit there, and you don't have the proper support structure, you're out. You're in a bad predicament. Get around family, like-minded people you can trust. So yeah. But anyway, so we had a good Shabbat. But let me get back, because I digress. Let me get back on topic. On what I was talking about is when it comes down to it, getting back, we're talking about relationships. Y'all know there was a season where, you know, hold on one sec. Okay. Yeah, there was a season where it was all relationship. I was teaching on these relationships, and um, I got plenty of videos back there teaching. I moved into a new season of, you know, diet, overcoming those spirits of diet and health, and just showing the footwork of what we're doing here as an assembly, as Straightway Florida. How we're moving, how we shaking and moving, what we do, what we got going on. The thing is I gotta speak on relationships here because I've been getting calls. I've been having to counsel people on some stuff, and even yesterday, I had uh, a longtime friend call me concerning a relationship situation, and you know, I gotta I'm thinking the best way to word this to be effective and efficient. It, you got to, like, for me, when I came into this, and when you're really on a search for the truth, you gotta be willing to throw out and challenge. You gotta be at least willing to challenge and question every single. Uh, you gotta be willing to question and challenge every single idea that this society has brought to you, and concept and stuff you've been brainwashed into by this society. What you what you need to do. Well, I'll tell you, a lot of times what happened, man, and what you got to come out of, what this society teaches you is to worship and idolize women. It says children are their oppressors and their women rule over them. So what I have seen people do so many times, they will put so many things in front of Yah. Okay. They'll put women in front of Yah's will. They'll put children in front of Yah's will. When the Bible says, no man has lost, and I might be I'm just trying to quote it or paraphrase it. It says, no man has lost. It says mother or wife or children in this life, and it says, and not regain 100-fold. He said in this life and in the life to come. So he's saying if you lose because of coming into this truth and doing Yah's biblical will, if you end up losing your son or your daughter or your wife or mother or family members, which when you come into this thing, that will happen. You know what I'm saying? What's up, man? Hey, we gonna Chris gonna be using my van, so we're gonna have to leave enough stuff here, so because we're gonna be using that to move the stuff to the other storage room. So, or take a pickup out there, probably bring a pickup out and use that. Probably do that. So basically, and this is what I've been counseling individuals about. And last night's situation was pretty serious because dude was ready to take physical action on a situation where I had to look, you just drop the truth on them, and you gotta let stuff fall where it may. But because people got a wrong concept of women and children, oh blah blah blah, and you fighting this beast system, this court system that's wicked. And my advice, and I'll tell y'all brothers what I tell them, man, if a woman is jerking you around with your children and visitation and all that, and using the legal system, leave them. Just don't see them. That's it. Don't get yourself into legal trouble. Don't get yourself put in jail. Don't be trying to kill somebody because of that. Because now children are your oppressors and your women are ruling over you. If you can make another family, you know, and most high willing, that family that was broken apart the child will see the light and will come back to you. But if you're in jail, you will never see them again. It's a wrap. It's over. Or if somebody die or get killed, you see what I'm saying? So use some common sense out there and stop buying into these societal norms that I know they are perpetuated by this society. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna use to seal that?
Gutter sealant.
Did it work?
A little bit.
Okay. So yeah, you gotta use wisdom. You gotta get into this word. And so many people, man, they just read this book, but when it comes time to actually implement it and go against their feelings uh and their heart and all that, nothing happens. And that's why you see the same people in the same jacked up relationships. You see people with effeminate spirits not changing. You don't like people ain't really wanting this thing like they want to breathe. You know what I'm saying? So you get what you get. You know what I'm saying? I'm not setting myself on fire to keep your ass warm. Period. It's real out here. People getting destroyed out here, left and right. It's not a game, man. It's not a game. All right. So that's what I wanted to say on relationships. Now, wrapping it up with diet and health. I'm sure everybody's seen the meat thing, you know, the whole thing with meat, the meat, or some of y'all might not, but there's Hebrews out there that say it's a sin to eat meat, you can't eat meat, blah, 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 blah. You know, the way I am, I'm I'm not biased. I will hear out both sides of something and hold fast to that which is true. And they're saying, "What's the meat killing you?" You know, and when it comes to diet, y'all, there is a lot of noise. Just like with the with a lot of this conspiracy theory stuff versus conspiracy facts, because some of the stuff is factual, some of the stuff isn't. There's a lot of noise out there now, y'all. There's a lot of media vying for your attention, whether it be social media or mainstream media, man. People want your attention. And there's a lot of noise out there. You got to learn to find the signal. So go into these diets. And I'm telling you, I've been studying all these things and looking into all this stuff. And I'm going to tell you what I found or what I am finding. There are people on carnivore diets, all meat, reversing diseases, reversing diabetes, eating nothing but meat for 5 years straight, in good condition, reversing disease, okay? There are people on vegetarian diets, same thing, reversing disease, you know, healing themselves up. There are people on fruit diets, reversing disease, healing up, okay? I'm gonna tell you what I found looking at all these diets, and when I say looking at, I'm actually listening to testimonies, looking at person after person after person, evidence. I can tell you with firsthand, I have witnessed knowledge on the fruit diet that it's the diet that is the most powerful healing, cleansing diet firsthand. I'm watching. I'm doing it myself, and I'm watching another person that I know go on it and just like thoroughly cleansing themselves out. So it's the truth. But to go and say meat is the devil, meat's the devil, meat's is why you're not healing up and all this stuff like that. Meat's causing all the disease. I'm not seeing it. Now, y'all need to go watch the Meat RX videos and these people on this carnivore diet that are, you see what I'm saying? So you gotta, people be talking a good aggressive game and it sounds good, but at the end of the day, it says prove all things and hold fast to that which is true. Now, what I found to be true is when you give your digestive system a break, your body begins to heal up. When it's not constantly digesting these big ass, complex ass, hard to break down ass meals, your body begins to heal up. That is a one fact that I've found. The other strong fact that I'm beginning to see is that these processed man-made foods and these the processed man-made foods are the ones that are really jacking you up the most. So like you talking about the refined sugars. Sugar's not bad, but when they extract it out of something and then they boil off the liquid off it and they make it into this purified concentrated substance, which is a drug, then it's going to jack you up. The other thing I found is that when you're eating all these big ass meals all the time, these big, huge meals 3 times a day, that's the other thing that be jacking you up. It be messing you up, man, is these big ass meals. That's the other thing that is jacking people up. Yeah, Umber, with you, if it still leaks after that, what we're gonna have to do is cut all the old sealing out of there and do it that way. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I found that to be true. I found a lot of the reason why people are just so sluggish and lazy and overweight is because of that. Is because I eat one big meal a day, typically throughout the week. Now, yesterday was a Shabbat. I ate 2 meals, and some fruit and snacks in the morning. So I ate a lot on the Shabbat. But during the week, I'm eating a lot of time. There's been a bunch of days where my first meal was around 12 o'clock or something. I ain't even gonna say my meal. It's just I'm eating a handful of nuts here, a handful of cashews or something there, and drinking a little bit of water with herbs in it all day. Okay, and that's on them days. That day that I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning and worked all the way to 10 o'clock at night. I only had one meal. Now I ate some cashews and some pumpkin seeds, a little bit of them, a couple handfuls of them, and drank some water. But other than that, it wasn't that. And you might be freaking out like, oh my. It was a slow process getting to that level where I'm at now. I just slowly began to eliminate stuff. I began to substitute stuff for fruit and vegetables and then slowly eliminate it. And the other thing is you clean out your gut and your bowel system, your digestive system. As you clean it out and it's able to absorb more nutrients, your appetite goes down because you're actually getting more nutrients out of the food. So it's a slow, consistent process, commitment to consistency. You see what I'm saying? It's not something you're eating 3 meals a day of who knows what, and then the next day you're doing a water fast. No, that's stupid. You slowly walk yourself into it. I don't even water fast. I haven't even done that yet, a water fast. I might be doing a grape juice fast here soon. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about Welch's organic, all natural grape juice. People do a fast on it, And they said, boy, it cleans your digestive system out like nothing before. It's called the Master Fast. And this guy done studied, and he got more advanced stuff. Like he makes this stuff called psyllium pudding and all this. It's psyllium, activated charcoal, and like grape juice or something crazy. And you like drink that, and it's like Drano on your. It's like Drano is on a clogged drain. You know what I'm saying? It like, and people say they got this stuff that comes out of them after they eat that you know you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. That's what it smells like chemical warfare and shit. But there's a lot of advanced cleansing and detox stuff. But I might eventually try the grape juice fast. I'm gonna look more into it. Right now, I'm just doing or the grape juice cleanse. But the Bible says in the end time, people will be overcome by surfeiting. The Bible, a lot of people's spiritual stronghold is gluttony and food addiction. People don't realize how addicted they are to food because you do not need 3 big ass meals a day. You don't need, like I said in my other show, I used to have a steak, egg, and cheese bagel, 2 steak, egg, and cheese bagels for breakfast. For lunch, I would go to Subway. For dinner, Koya would cook like a meal, like spaghetti and something else. Dude, you would have to run not a triathlon, an ultra marathon. Y'all go look up what an ultra marathon is. It's a 24-hour race running to burn all that shit off. Okay? And a lot of people are wondering why they overweight and all that. It's like because they got us, man. Everything this world does is wicked and evil as hell and totally against the word. Our eating style here is wicked and totally against the word. Like literally everything is upside down. At Straightway, they eat breakfast at 9 and dinner at 3. And that's literally perfect. Because you don't want to eat breakfast as soon as you wake up. And they say you want how many hours before you eat, Umbry? Should you go to bed or whatever after you eat?
They say you should stop at like 7.
Umbry said you should stop eating at 7. So you know, so you shouldn't you know. So to stop eating at 3 is perfect because what you want to do is if you eat and you go to sleep and what your body's doing all night is all of its energy is digesting the food, breaking the food down. If you stop eating early, say like Straightway does at 3 o'clock, when you go to bed at night, all that energy in your body is healing your body up. A lot of people be asking me about the herbs and all this stuff. Now, don't get it twisted. The herbs are powerful and they help and they heal you and they cleanse you. But, dude, most people, man, if you don't have any health conditions that are bogging you down, man, most of y'all can simply change your eating habits and your diet and substantially heal your body up. Getting back to the meat thing, the Bible. I read y'all all those verses on the last show about diet and how it says don't be insatiable with your consumption of meat. I'm paraphrasing it. It says so don't eat a whole bunch of meat because it causes sickness and irritability. That's what it says. So you know. I'm not saying, oh, you're going to hell. You're evil if you eat meat, but you should cut down on it and eat in the proper portions. How all through the Bible, what do you see? Is fasting. Don't you see fasting a lot in the Bible? Why is that? You know. So It's real talk, y'all. Somebody said, "Did you mean the Master Cleanser by Stanley Burroughs? It's a fast where you drink olive oil, grapefruit juice with maple syrup." No, hell to the nah. You hear that? Olive oil, grapefruit juice, and maple syrup. Yeah, you drink that, you're gonna be shitting out both ends. Like you're gonna be throwing up and crapping. Like, no, no, no. This is something different. And this dude got some advanced stuff. He actually takes like I forget what it is, but he takes stuff, this stuff mixes it with food. It's like baking soda or something, and pulls the constituents out of the food and just drinks literally the constituents of the food, like the nutrients of the food. So he makes something, and the stuff he uses to do it is pretty natural, but what it does is pulls all the nutrients out of the food, and he drinks the nutrients. He calls it his plasma. He drinks the nutrients, and literally his the whole thing he's doing is shutting the digestive system off. That way, your body is more apt to heal up. It has more energy to heal. So his whole mission is to shut the digestive system off through fast and stuff like that. So yeah, let me see what you said. The more you afflict your soul, the easier it gets. And he's right. The crazy gardener's right. What you do is you don't go extreme, but little by little, you eat less and less, and it will blow your mind. It's like that the one night I came home, I I looked at the refrigerator, and I was like, really? I don't even have to eat, really. I could just go to bed because I was tired. But I was just like, I'm gonna just eat, and I ate. But I could have just as easily went to bed that day and just really had barely nothing all day and felt fine, and my energy was good. Okay. All right, let me see what else y'all said here. The more organic fruits and veggies you eat, the more satiated you will be all day. Big old facts, Cruz. Yep, you right. You're right. Diets mess me up. Had dyes mess me up. Had arthritis in my hands. Cut out the processed food. Now much better. Yep, that's right. You're right, man. This stuff, it's a hustle, man. It's a vicious cycle. That's why they have the Food and Drug Administration. Because they get you eating the bad foods, then you need their drugs, and then you got to go get an operation. It's like a vicious cycle where they kill you slowly and make money off your death. Is it far from? Okay, let me see. What else y'all say? All right, so somebody asked, Terrence says, Shalom, Brother Mike. Definitely do some research on non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. High levels of fructose in the diet is converted to fat very easily and stored in the liver. Okay, so fructose is a sugar, and it's in fruit, but there's two different types of fructose. The fruit that's in the concentrated fructose that they put in these cereals and processed foods, once again, it's concentrated. So when you eat it, and all that concentrated fructose smacks into your liver is processing it so fast that it ends up storing it in the fat. Okay, and you end up developing what? Fatty liver disease. But the fructose that's in fruit is in the fruit in substantial levels, to the point where when you eat the fruit and digest it, it's not this big, overwhelming hit of sugar. When you consume the fruit with its fibers and everything like that, it slowly goes into the liver and you don't develop fatty liver disease. You actually cleanse up and heal up your liver. So yeah, I understand. I've already researched. I understand what you're talking about. But once again, you're talking about man-made fructose versus Yah or God-made fructose that's in your fruits. That was designed to, he said, I give you all fruits bearing seeds. To you, it shall be meat. And then you talk about the stuff man makes, like what my man was saying, Lalea Africa was saying. He was like, look, he was like, when they take sugar cane, because brother Tony, me and Tony were talking about the people who worked in the sugar cane fields would eat the sugar cane all day, and they wouldn't develop any of these issues. But Lalea Africa was saying what they do is when they get the sugar cane, they bring it into the manufacturing into the sugarcane refinery, and what they do, they strip all the fiber off the sugarcane, they cut it, they take the fibers of the sugarcane, put it through a press, they squeeze it through the press and extract all the sugar juice out of the sugarcane into a big vat, and then they boil that vat and boil off all the water and the liquid, and they boil it down to a concentrate, okay, which you call sugar, which is a drug, okay, and then they dry it out because it's like a syrup, but they dry it out, they dry the sugar out, and then they sell it to you as sugar. And what you're eating is a drug. And once again, that same sugar hits your liver as a concentrate and will cause all types of diseases because you're not eating man-made food. I mean, you're not eating Yah or God-made food. You're eating man-made food. And you know, man can't, don't get me started on that. But all right, so somebody said, Jesus answered them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin. Okay, good verse. You serve in sin. So there you go. And what is sin? Transgression of the law. So, but yeah, y'all, it definitely got to change these diets, got to get off these sugars, and got to get on the Yah. The stuff Yah made is perfect. Like, let's take fruit, for instance. We're talking about it. Fruit is the perfect meal. You can eat like when you eat the fruit, you don't need something to drink. You know what I'm saying? The fruit tastes perfect. You don't need to put some gravy on it or syrup or all this other stuff. It tastes good as it is. I know I get a peach or some watermelon or something like that, man, it tastes perfect. They make it the way they make crack. Same process. They are masters of wickedness. Hey, you're right, man. That's how you make crack rocks. When you make crack rocks, it's the same way, man. I'm telling you, dude. And cocaine's the same thing from the coca plant. Hey, we gotta change the light bulb on that blinker before you take it. So, yeah. But there's stuff in there. So take the stuff out of there that's in there. There's tools in there though. You probably leave those in there. So anyway, man. Yeah, so yep, fruit is a best thirst quencher, man. There's sometimes, man, when I'm super thirsty, the only thing I'm craving is some cold watermelon. I'll be sucking on that like a damn, I'll be on that like a damn rat on a Cheeto, boy. I'll be hitting that stuff. All right, y'all. Y'all see the brothers is up. Everybody's getting their vehicles ready. We getting ready to head out. We got work to do. We're gonna be getting after it today. I'm gonna be reaching out to Elder Mitchell today. Definitely want to get him on the show. And probably Brother Greg also, his brother. And that's gonna be the next Straightway Life. The next episode is gonna be with Brother Mitch and Brother Greg. I think it's gonna be a blessing. They got them some solid brothers. That's my first experience with Straightway was going to their communal home there, and man, it was a blessing, man. So we're gonna talk about that. But yeah, that'll be the next show. So definitely stay tuned. Gonna try to do it soon. So keep your eyes peeled. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I just want to come on and break some of that stuff down and let y'all know how my research is going with all these diets and crazes and what food's bad and what food's good. I just want to come on here and just break that down and come down the middle on it. So let me see something real quick. Yeah. But anyway, y'all, with that said, appreciate all y'all tuning in. We're going to wrap this up. And definitely share this. Hit the like button. Get the word out. Subscribe to the channel. I see that a lot of people have subscribed. And with that said, shalom, shalom, y'all.